ChatGPT AI is here. Can I show up in your classroom having no education in this, and could I fool you using ChatGPT and go in? And do you think they're doing it right now? Or not, I shouldn't say do you think they're doing it. They're doing it. Are you catching it? Are you aware? Have you caught anybody? And what do you think about all this?
Well, this is a very good question. Couple of things. ChatGPT, I mean, we've all used it. It's a tool. I mean, does it make mistakes? Yes. Does it make a lot of mistakes? Yeah, sometimes yes. In science and engineering, we have I have a tendency to have in-person, in-class tests. So I don't send them away for essays, and I don't send them away to write something for me and come back and hand it in. They're generally assessed through lab work and through in-class, pencil in hand, calculator in hand, and maybe I'll let them have access to their textbook if it's open book. But this is it. So I personally do not see any issue in certain disciplines when it comes to ChatGPT. Now, that's not to say that ChatGPT won't affect their jobs when they graduate, because this is a whole different story. But I can imagine in some disciplines in academia, such as, the more communications-based courses where you actually have to write, essays and things like that, or prepare business plans, marketing plans, and you have to do it externally to the college or the university, and then you have to hand it in. It's problematic because I think a lot of people are going to start offloading some of their mental capacity to ChatGPT, and this is inherently going to make that if you don't you're an athlete. If you don't exercise the muscle, it makes it weak. So people, in the future, there's always that danger of people just becoming ChatGPT operators. And interestingly, the solution to this problem of artificial intelligence is to, in my perspective, this is a thought that I have, is to retreat into the past. So what do I mean by that? It's, academia has gone digital. Everything's online. Assessments are online. Digital notes are online. Everything's on. Tests are even online now. It's almost as if we have to retreat into the past of oral examinations and in-person examinations and testings. Otherwise, how can we legitimately verify that the person in front of who submitted this document has legitimately, prepared it or legitimately understand it? So no, a student cannot pass my course using ChatGPT, but that's me. Can a student pass a English literature course by using ChatGPT? It is possible. It is possible. So again, we may have to retreat, and we may have to become Luddites and retreat into the past and smash the machines in order to actually ensure that humanity still maintains some level of cognitive ability or intelligence, and artificial intelligence doesn't take over. Now, when they graduate and companies start realizing that ChatGPT can solve very complex engineering equations in a fraction of the time and create engineering designs in a fraction of the time, then there may be significant repercussions for that in the future for a lot of graduates coming out of the system. Maybe the company doesn't need to hire 10 engineers. Maybe they need, 2 engineers with really good knowledge of artificial intelligence to operate it, right? Advertising and marketing, graphic design. I mean, I create beautiful graphic designs with ChatGPT, and I am the most unartistic person there is out there. I create in seconds beautiful, surreal landscapes of, post-apocalyptic worlds, and they're original, they're beautiful, but I didn't create them. Meanwhile, a graphic designer used to take days to create that, right? So we don't really know where this is going, but one thing for certain, jobs like accounting, even law, that are very by the book, procedural, there's going to be a significant impact on them in the near future. I mean, ChatGPT is great for those types of things. You can pump in some financial statements and it'll analyze them and find errors in seconds that a team of accountants would take a day to do.
That's so true. Yeah. And the cost factor, obviously, as well. That's going to take a toll on people. Why? Explain to me why. Even we're sitting here now doing this in Riverside. The second that this is done, and I can remember, I used to do this, the podcast, and this is just a couple of years ago. The second this is done, I can press a button, have the entire transcript. I can have a summary of everything that we spoke on. I will have this. And then I can press another button and it will chop up every single little portion of this into shorts, 10 to 15, right? Most of which they're not that great, but 3 to 5 of them will be tremendous. And so this is something that had to be done manually just a little while ago. Like it all just happened like boom, like this. There was manual labor for someone. Now, if you could launch this and do it all yourself, truly. The human element, just to touch on what you're saying to go into your past, it does seem that human element, if you do have the skill, the understanding, you can improve on it to a way that it still can't quite get to. It can get you up there, but it can't get you the whole way home.
Yeah, I think the jobs of the future need to start. Like, look, there's actually another quote. It was Sun Tzu. It was fight the enemy where they aren't. In The Art of War, that was one of his more famous quotes. Fight the enemy where they aren't. Now, there's no way we're going to go head to head with artificial intelligence in pure computational power. I will never. And Chat GPT, for example, there's others. It still makes the odd mistakes now and then. It used to make a lot more. It's getting better. Eventually, it will be perfect. It will be able to solve complex equations like I have, up there, general energy equation. I was just tinkering with some equations earlier. It will be able to solve that in a fraction of the time, in a fraction of the error as I. So there's no way, and I recognize this, in another 6 months and a year, ChatGPT or other AI systems will eclipse human capabilities by 100-fold. I know that. But we can't fight the enemy. We can't fight the enemy on that battleground. We have to fight the enemy on another battleground. So what elements do humans have that AI doesn't have? Well, AIs don't have a soul. I mean, an AI is artificial intelligence. It doesn't think, follows an algorithm. It doesn't have empathy. It doesn't have a soul. Can it be programmed to simulate this? Yes, of course. So I think humanity has to, start focusing on things that it can do that artificial intelligence can never do, like feel whether it's fear or love or things like that. So I think the jobs of the future, in fact, now I've even heard that they're looking for liberal arts majors to work in artificial intelligence fields because we need people that have the ability to understand large language models. So it's incredible that liberal arts majors are now being recruited into artificial intelligence kind of jobs. But one thing to remember is this. This is another quote. This is by Irving John Good. The first ultra intelligent machine is the last machine that man will ever make. Now, let that sink in for a second. The first machine that will be able to design a better machine than itself is the last machine that human beings will ever make. And it's called the singularity. It's one of those concepts, people have talked about before. It's like the singularity is that hypothetical point in the future somewhere where technological growth becomes uncontrollable. And then it results in changes to human civilization. So this is, are we at that singularity? Did the firing of Sam Altman have something to do with the, who knows, rumors abound, but
yeah.
Once we create an artificial general intelligence, not a specialized intelligence, because intelligence, it's interesting because we talked about specialization before. A machine is only truly intelligent when it has general intelligence, not specialized intelligence. So a math AI is just a math AI. A biology AI is just a biology AI. But when you have an AI that has artificial general intelligence and you achieve this singularity point, then it will never have consciousness. We know that. Like, if you believe in the human soul, that machine will never, it's just a box. It won't feel anything inside its box, but it can simulate. And since human beings are not perfect, thank goodness, we're not perfect, we can make mistakes in programming the algorithms of these machines. And if we do not put in appropriate safety factors into the control of artificial intelligence, then it can run away from us, right? And when the singularity happens, not when, if, but when, and the first machine creates a better machine than it was, then you have a process of uncontrolled evolution, right? You know, we all love the Terminator movies for different reasons, but, you know, there's a lot of dark possibilities in the future regarding this, but there's also bright ones. I mean, you know, artificial intelligence could lead to a very bright future in a lot of areas. And as long as we can pull the plug and we have the ability to pull a hard switch, if you will, then we should be okay. But we just got to make sure we have that ability to, or as 𝗦𝗂𝗯𝘀𝗰𝗄𝗯𝗏 said, the 3 laws of robotics. I don't want to list them now. I can't remember them all exactly right now, but we do need to have some fail-safe switch for this type of technology.